My employee badge slipped from my fingers, clattering on the polished marble floor. My name etched on it mocked me as I caught her glare. It sliced through my pride like a blade. I am Aaron, assistant manager at a high-end hotel in the heart of the city. This job was my dream, every detail from the gleaming chandeliers to the hum of guest chatter fueling my drive. I poured my soul into it, learning fast, earning smiles from clients, even streamlining bookings to boost revenue by thousands. At first, it felt like I belonged. Vivian, my manager, was a force. Sharp, experienced, her presence commanded respect. She guided me through the chaos of check-ins and VIP demands, her advice crisp and valuable. But weeks in, something shifted. Her eyes turned cold, her words clipped. A misfiled report, a missed email, nothing escaped her scrutiny. I told myself she was just tough, pushing me to be better. I wanted to believe it. Then came the day Mr. Carter, the hotel owner, stopped by. My idea to cut costs on supplies had saved a chunk of cash, and he clapped my shoulder in front of the staff, his voice warm with praise. "Well done, Aaron. Keep it up." I beamed, but Vivian stood frozen, her smile tight as a coiled spring. Later, alone in the break room, she brushed past me, her voice low. "Sloppy work today. Fix it." My stomach twisted. I had double-checked everything. Her jabs grew sharper. In staff meetings, she would call out tiny errors, ones I did not even recall making. "Nice try, Aaron, but I showed you better," she would say, her tone dripping with control. I started second-guessing every move, my confidence fraying. Was I slipping, or was she carving me down? One night, a guest complained about a noisy room. I handled it fast, comping their stay with a smile. The guest left happy, but Vivian cornered me after. "You should have checked with me first." Her words landed like a slap, though I had followed protocol. I nodded, swallowing the urge to argue. But inside, a spark of doubt flared. This was not about mistakes. It was about me. I lay awake that night, replaying her stares, her words. My dream job felt like a tightrope, and Vivian held the other end, ready to shake it. I did not know why, but I felt it in my bones. She did not just want me to fail. She wanted me gone. Before we dive deeper into this whirlwind of a story, let me know where you are tuning in from. If this tale is grabbing you, hit that subscribe button to keep the journey going. A faint hum lingered in the hotel lobby as I finished the evening's paperwork, the weight of Vivian's latest jab still coiled in my chest. Her words from yesterday, sharp and baseless, echoed in my mind, but I pushed them aside, focusing on the numbers in front of me. I had to stay sharp. Then, a shadow fell across my desk. Olivia, the senior manager, stood there, her face unreadable. "Aaron, we need to talk." My pulse quickened, but I nodded, following her to her office down the hall. Inside, the air felt thick, like the moment before a storm breaks. Olivia sat behind her desk, her hands folded, her voice smooth but hollow. "Aaron, this isn't working. We're letting you go." The words hit like a punch, stealing my breath. I gripped the armrest, steadying myself. She went on, listing reasons that felt like lies. A scheduling mix-up last month. A guest complaint I'd never heard of. "Errors someone at your level shouldn't make," she said, her eyes avoiding mine. I tried to speak, to explain that those mistakes weren't real, that I'd triple-checked every detail. But her mind was set, her words final. "You're done here." I stumbled out of the office, the fluorescent lights harsher, the lobby's elegance now a cruel mockery. My dream, my hours of sweat and pride, crumbled in minutes. As I grabbed my jacket from the break room, Vivian appeared, leaning against the doorway. Her lips curved, not quite a smile, but something darker. "I don't like you, Aaron." Her whisper slithered through the silence, cold and deliberate. Then she turned, her heels clicking away, leaving me frozen. On my desk, a folded note caught my eye, her handwriting jagged. "You never belonged here." My blood boiled not from sadness, but from a fire I hadn't felt before. Back at my apartment, I paced the cramped living room, the note crumpled in my fist. I called Mr. Carter my last hope. His voice was kind but distant. Olivia handles operations, Aaron. She's got my trust. If you and Vivian hadn't clashed so much, maybe things could have worked. His words twisted the knife. Vivian had painted me as the problem, and he'd bought it. I hung up, staring at the city lights beyond my window. Betrayal burned in my veins, not just from Vivian's cruelty, but from the system that let her win. I wasn't broken yet. I wasn't done. Sleep didn't come that night. Vivian's note lay on my table, her words looping in my head. I don't like you. You never belong. Why? I'd followed her rules, exceeded her targets. Was it my ideas? My praise? From Carter? Something deeper? My mind churned, piecing together her glares, her calculated digs. This wasn't about work. It was personal, a vendetta I couldn't yet name. By dawn I made a vow. I wouldn't beg. I wouldn't vanish. I'd find the truth, and I'd make her regret it. That morning, I opened my laptop, fingers trembling with purpose. Vivian thought she'd buried me, but she didn't know me at all. I wasn't just fighting for my job. I was fighting for myself. The glow of my laptop screen burned into the early morning, Vivian's crumpled note still taunting me from the table. Her venomous whisper, "I don't like you," fueled a restless fire in my gut. I couldn't shake the sting of Olivia's dismissal or Mr. Carter's blind trust in her. I wasn't ready to walk away. Not like this. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, driven by a hunch I couldn't ignore. Vivian wasn't just cruel. She was hiding something. I started digging, fueled by coffee and defiance. A coworker had once mentioned Vivian's stress during a late-night shift, a vague hint about trouble she'd brushed off. At the time, it meant nothing. Now, it felt like a thread to pull. I signed up for an online background check, my heart pounding as I typed her name. Minutes later, the truth stared back at me. Vivian had been charged with financial fraud, a small-scale scam involving falsified expense reports at a previous job. The case was public, unresolved, and unreported. In our industry, that was a death sentence. State regulations demanded managers disclose any criminal charges to keep their licenses. She hadn't. She'd gambled on silence. My pulse raced as I cross-checked the records. Dates, court filings, all laid bare. If this got out, Vivian wouldn't just lose her job. Her career would collapse. I leaned back, the weight of it sinking in. Part of me hesitated. Was I sinking to her level, turning her weapons against her? But then I saw her note again, felt the sting of her words, the theft of my dream. This wasn't revenge. It was justice. She tried to erase me, banking on my silence. She'd miscalculated. I called Mr. Carter that afternoon, my voice steady despite the storm inside. I laid out the facts, citing the fraud charge and the licensing rules she'd violated. I emailed him the records, every detail airtight. His tone shifted, heavy with disbelief. I had no idea, Aaron. This is serious. He promised to handle it personally. I hung up, my hands trembling, a strange mix of dread and triumph swirling in my chest. I'd thrown the first punch, but the fight wasn't over. 2 days later, my phone rang. Mr. Carter's voice was calm but firm. Vivian's gone. She's been terminated effective immediately. My breath caught, relief flooding me like a wave. Then he continued. Aaron, you've shown real grit. I want you to take her place. Full manager, better pay than she had. You're the right fit. I managed to thank you, my mind reeling. The job I'd lost was mine again, but bigger, brighter. I should have felt victorious, but a shadow lingered. Olivia was still out there, her role in this unclear, her silence deafening. That night, I stood in my apartment, staring at the city skyline. The hotel's lights twinkled in the distance, calling me back. I was stepping into Vivian's shoes, but I wasn't naive. She'd left a mess, and I sensed Olivia's hand in it. As I packed my bag for my first day as manager, a coworker's words echoed from weeks ago. Vivian wasn't just tough. She'd scared people, pushed them out before. I wondered who else she'd crossed, and what Olivia knew. The truth was close, but I wasn't there yet. I'd won this round, but the game was far from over. The hotel lobby buzzed with morning energy as I clipped the manager's keys to my belt, their weight grounding me in my new role. Vivian's absence left a quiet ripple among the staff, but I felt her shadow lingering, a ghost in every polished surface. I dove into my duties, scheduling shifts and greeting guests, my mind sharp but restless. Olivia had been distant since my promotion, her smile too polished, her presence scarce. I couldn't shake the feeling she was watching, waiting for a misstep. Mid-morning, the front doors swung open, and there she was. Vivian. Her heels clicked slower than I remembered, her face drawn, a cardboard box tucked under her arm. She froze when she saw me behind the desk, my nameplate gleaming. Manager. Her eyes darted to the keys, then back to my face, a flicker of disbelief breaking her composure. Erin. You're still here. Her voice was tight, like she'd rehearsed it. I met her gaze, calm but unyielding. I work here. I'm the manager now. Her lips parted, but no words came. She stepped closer, her fingers tightening on the box. You think you've won. I didn't flinch. I just did my job. I nodded toward the office. Your things are in there. She hesitated, then brushed past me, her shoulder grazing mine with deliberate force. As she disappeared inside, I noticed a folded paper slip from her box, landing near my feet. I picked it up, my pulse quickening. In her hurried scrawl, it read, "Olivia's not what you think." My throat tightened. Was this a taunt, a trap, or something real? I pocketed it, my mind racing. Vivian emerged moments later, avoiding my eyes, and left without a word, the door's chime mocking her exit. I stood there, the note burning a hole in my pocket, its warning clawing at me. That evening, alone in the office, I sifted through Vivian's old files, my unease growing. I wasn't looking for trouble, but I needed answers. Buried in a drawer, I found a worn notebook, its pages filled with her meticulous handwriting. Dates, times, notes about me. Missed deadlines I never missed. Complaints I never heard. Lies woven to paint me as a failure. My stomach churned, but the real blow came at the end. A printed email, tucked between the pages, from Olivia. Erin's too confident. Keep tracking him. If he pushes back, we'll deal with him. The date was months ago, long before my firing. I leaned back, my heart pounding. Olivia hadn't just trusted Vivian. She'd orchestrated it, her fingerprints on every move to bury me. The note's warning echoed. Olivia's not what you think. I saw Vivian's game now, her cruelty a blunt weapon. But Olivia was different, sharper, hidden behind her polished facade. I wasn't facing one enemy anymore. I was in deeper than I'd imagined, and the hotel's gleaming walls felt like a cage closing in. I folded the email carefully, my resolve hardening. Vivian was gone, but Olivia was still here, and I wasn't done digging. Olivia's email sat heavy in my pocket as I moved through the hotel's morning rush, its words a silent accusation I couldn't shake. Vivian's notebook had exposed her lies, but Olivia's role cut deeper, her calculated moves hidden behind a mask of authority. I watched her now, her clipped orders to staff, her quick glances my way. She thought I was still the assistant she could dismiss. I wasn't that man anymore. I needed proof, not just of her plot against me, but of the rot she'd let fester under her watch. I started small, tracking her decisions. Late-night emails redirecting funds to vague vendors. Staff schedules skewed to favor her allies. She dismissed complaints with a smile, but I saw the fear in employees' eyes when she passed. I kept a log, every entry precise, my nights spent cross-referencing her moves against hotel records. One evening, Marcus, a young concierge, lingered after his shift. He shifted nervously, then spoke. Olivia made me work unpaid hours. Said I'd lose my job if I told anyone. His voice trembled, but his words lit a fuse in me. I thanked him, promising discretion, my resolve sharpening. Marcus wasn't alone. I sensed others had stories, silenced by her shadow. Digging deeper, I found a locked folder on the office server, its access tied to Olivia's login. I didn't have her password, but a forgotten sticky note under her old desk gave me a lead. Vendor codes scribbled in haste. I cross-checked them against invoices and froze. Thousands funneled to a shell company, payments she'd approved without oversight. Vivian's fraud was child's play compared to this. Olivia hadn't just targeted me. She'd bled the hotel dry, covering her tracks with charm and threats. My hands shook as I saved the evidence, knowing this could end her. I requested a meeting with Mr. Carter, my folder thick with proof. Emails, logs, Marcus's statement, and screenshots of the shady transactions. I walked into his office, my voice steady, laying out the truth piece by piece. Olivia's betrayal wasn't just personal. It was theft, a violation of trust that endangered the hotel. Carter listened, his face hardening with each page he turned. I didn't realize it was this bad, he said finally. I'll take it from here. I nodded, leaving him to process the betrayal of someone he'd trusted for years. 3 days later, Olivia was called in. I saw her enter Carter's office, her posture rigid, her usual poise cracking. Hours passed, the staff whispering as tension hung over the lobby. Then she emerged, her eyes blazing, and marched toward me. You're nothing, Aaron. You'll crash and burn. Her voice was venom, but it broke on the last word. I met her gaze, unflinching. I just did what was right. She stormed out, her heels echoing like a fading drumbeat. Carter confirmed it later. Olivia was suspended, her access revoked pending a full audit. The hotel exhaled in her absence. Staff spoke freely, sharing ideas they buried under her reign. Guest reviews climbed, revenue ticked up, and Carter offered me regional manager, a role Olivia had once eyed. I accepted, feeling not triumph, but clarity. I'd dismantled her empire, not with anger, but with truth. Yet as I locked the office that night, Marcus's words lingered. Others had suffered under her. I wondered how deep her damage ran, and if I'd truly seen the last of her schemes. The hotel glowed under the afternoon sun, its lobby alive with laughter and the clink of glasses, a far cry from the tension that once choked it. I stood behind the desk, regional manager now, my name played a quiet testament to the storm I'd weathered. Olivia's suspension had lifted a veil, and the staff thrived, their ideas reshaping the place into something better. Yet, as I reviewed the day's reports, a flicker of unease lingered. I'd torn down their walls, but shadows still danced in the corners of my mind. Late that day, the front door chimed, and I looked up to see Vivian. She stood at the counter, thinner than before, her eyes hollow, clutching a worn envelope. My stomach tightened, but I kept my face steady. She hadn't come for trouble. She looked broken, a ghost of the woman who'd tried to crush me. Aaron, I need to talk, she said, her voice fragile. I nodded, stepping aside, bracing for whatever she'd throw next. She set the envelope down, her hands trembling. I made mistakes. I've changed. Please ask Carter to give me a chance. Her plea hung in the air, brittle and desperate. I studied her, searching for the venom that once defined her. It was gone, replaced by something raw, but I wasn't fooled. I saw her notebook, her lies, the note she'd left to wound me. Change wasn't a word you spoke. It was a path you walked. I slid the envelope back. You made choices, Vivian? Those choices have consequences. Not mine to fix. Her face crumpled, but she didn't argue. She turned away, her steps slow, the door closing softly behind her. I exhaled, not with victory, but with closure. She was the past now, a lesson carved deep. That night, alone in my office, I thought about the journey. The whispers, the betrayals, the truths I'd clawed from the dark. I hadn't just fought for my job. I'd fought for my place, for the people who'd been silenced under Vivian and Olivia. The hotel wasn't just a building anymore. It was a home, one I'd rebuilt with honesty and grit. I learned something vital through it all. Truth doesn't bend to power, and standing up, even when it's hard, builds more than you can imagine. It's not about winning. It's about creating something that lasts. Vivian's license was revoked soon after, her name fading from the industry like a bad dream. Olivia's audit uncovered more, her schemes tying her to losses no one could ignore. She vanished, her reputation in ruins, a warning to those who think lies outrun consequences. I kept moving forward, leading with clarity, knowing I'd earn every step not by tearing others down, but by lifting others up. This journey's wrapped, full of twists and heart. Did the ending hit you as expected, or did it catch you off guard? Drop your thoughts below. If this story's got you hooked for more, give it a like and subscribe for the next ride. Thanks for sticking with me. See you in the next tale.